Hello there. Today I watched Karate Kid Legends, and now I want to tell you about it. It's an action-adventure about a teenager named Lee and his family moving from Beijing to New York. Lee meets and befriends a local family and tries to help them out by entering a tournament for the prize money. Rob Lieber wrote the story and Jonathan Entwistle directed the film. It stars Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and Ben Wang. Legends is the latest take on the Karate Kid series, and it follows most of the story beats of the previous films. There's an evil ex who knows karate and tries to use it to bully the lead character. There's a wise old mentor that helps the lead learn martial arts. There's even a bunch of nostalgia bait lines like jacket on, jacket off. It's also got a lot of martial arts fighting, spinning kicks, rapid punches, and insane acrobatics. For music, they pull out a bunch of modern hip-hop songs with a few instrumentals to fill the gaps. They give the film a bit of an American vibe. Basically, it's the Karate Kid, but modern. When it comes to the quality of the film, there's a lot to talk about. For positives, the cast does a fine job with the material. The visual journey is superb, and they have a bumping soundtrack. Altogether, it makes for a fun experience so long as you can turn your brain off. Starting with the cast, they are called to play highly stereotypical roles that aren't very nuanced, but do them well enough and manage to add enough charm to make things tolerable. You have Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio playing wise older teachers who show their young student the way. They give lots of lectures, pull off some sweet moves, and add a touch of emotion when reminiscing about Mr. Miyagi or trying to give a life lesson. Ben Wang plays Lee, a martial arts prodigy that moves to New York with his mother. He doesn't get much of a personality to play with, but does well with the action moments. Sadie Stanley plays his love interest, Mia. Like Wang, she gets a very limited personality to work with, but does a great job with the emotional aspects and delivers her lines well. Visually, this film has lots of great tricks. They film everything cleanly, execute some insane stunt work during the action, and show off some cool sets and locations in the process. The movie starts at a dojo in Beijing and then transitions over to the streets of New York. They follow Lee around during his day-to-day life with a few cutaways to the antagonists. Along the way, there's lots of training montages, fight scenes, and even a few flashbacks to Lee's past. For big standout moments, they had some ridiculously cool action sequences. They didn't really make sense, but they looked awesome. At different points, the fighting becomes more like superhero action, with Lee and his masters taking on multiple opponents at a time, some of them even armed. They pull off inhuman stunts in the process, but they look amazing doing it. For the soundtrack, they used a wide variety of music with varying bits of flavor. The songs are catchy as hell, used effectively to support the story, and don't ever interfere with the scene work. If you like hip-hop, this movie is a lot of fun to listen to, which brings me to the negatives, all of which come from the writing. The story is just another rehash of the Karate Kid formula, except they tried to change things up in the middle and ruined the rest of it. It starts by introducing us to the lead. It then sets up the scenario just like the Karate Kid did, which is fine. Then it veers completely off the road and takes a massive detour to try and justify setting up the lead against the ex-boyfriend. The detour makes little to no sense, detracts a ton from all of the character development, and just feels like it was added in to stretch out the film. Then they get back on track and rush through all the things we wanted from the Karate Kid film in the first place. It doesn't develop its characters well. Its antagonists are boring and wooden, and there's little motivation to continue watching from the story side of things. The cast suffers a lot from the lack of quality writing, too. They try to take on serious emotional issues, but aren't given the time they need to actually deal with them. They tackle death, love, and feelings of inadequacy, but barely scratch the surface. They also underutilize just about every single one of the adult actors in the film. You have Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio, and Ming-Na Wen, and yet none of them get to do anything more than a motivating speech or a little reminiscing. Personally, I found this film quite boring despite all of its flashy parts. It does have a cool visual journey. It has good music that makes you want to groove. It just doesn't have any of the charm that made the original worth watching. Lee is a boring Gary Stu, and no matter how many nostalgia pieces they threw at us, I just didn't care about it. The film should also be considered hardcore fantasy. They are still doing the thing where they pretend martial arts are superior to all other forms of fighting, and it just isn't true. If you liked the previous Karate Kid movies, you might enjoy this one for nostalgic reasons. But if you're looking for a good story, this ain't it. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 6 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye.